So it's 11 o'clock. This is the Wellfleet Recycling Committee meeting. And welcome everybody. We have Christine Shreves, the co-chair, Olivia Krause, and Chris Wisniewski, and also Lee Bartell from the Eastham Recycling Committee meeting, Eastham Recycling Committee. And since it's 11, we can maybe just get started, and as people join in, that's fine. Any announcements from anyone? Any events that you want to announce that aren't on the agenda? Okay. The town meeting, the single-serve plastic bottle ban was approved by a majority vote. That was very exciting. And Christine did an amazing job presenting the article. It's very concise and clear. And so thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And that goes into effect in 2023. Is that right? It'll be some time before it takes effect May 1st, 2023. It's in the warrant here.
One of the questions asked at the pre-town meeting, Danny asked if any other towns were considering such a ban.
Mhm.
And I said, not that I know of, but Lee, do you know anything about any other towns expanding the plastic bottle ban to other kinds of beverages? Other than the nips, that's the only thing I've heard about.
Lee, have you heard of anything? No.
Okay.
No, just the bottle ban. We were so glad to get that established.
Right. Yeah, we just passed an article that bans other kinds of beverages, also carbonated sodas and carbonated beverages.
Non-alcoholic carbonated beverages under 21 ounces.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Transfer Station Recycling Center, we got and thanks to the shrink wrap volunteers, I think Olivia and Christine were both there, and Christine's sister.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It was a very hot day,
And,
right?
and Carol and then George, yeah, she did a
Carol
great job.
Magino?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's
the
wonderful.
guy, there was a gentleman too. What was his name?
George from the swap shop. Do you know his
Everyone
last
could have had
name?
a
Lydia?
stroke. It was touching.
George Bono. George
Yes.
Bono. Yeah, he's a great helper. So that was the pictures were pretty amazing. Those
Mhm.
bales and bales of I guess 50 tons from Cape Cod of the boat shrink wrap.
Mhm.
Is that right, or was it 5 tons? Sorry.
Really bad. That was the big shocker.
What's that?
It smelled really bad. That was the big shocker.
Really? That's interesting. What was
Well,
it?
it had been sitting in a big dumpster, and it rained on it, and so there was.
I think being out all winter with birds crapping on it, it was like fermented bird crap. It was part
That
of
must have been it.
Wow.
Definitely a stinky job.
Some of the other things that Mike, let me just go to his report real quick, because he did say, I'm sorry here, I'm gonna just find the right number of tons, that 5.25 tons of collected plastic wrap, and they brought it to Republic Services in Brockton, where it was turned into 7 bales. This plastic will be used domestically to make things like plastic lids on coffee cans, wire insulation, or new boat wrap. Approximately 20 pounds of wrap per boat. We collected about 525 boats worth Cape wide. And Wellfleet had 1.63 tons after sorting. And a lot of it was made available too, if you wanted to cover like Christine, I think you said a wood pile, or people could use it as a tarp for other stuff. Is that working out pretty well?
Yeah, it's stiffer than like a tarp that you would use for yard waste, but
I see.
if anybody needs any, we have plenty left over.
Okay, that's good to know. It's white, so it's kind of, it's different from your usual blue or brown
Right.
tarp that you
Yeah.
get. Good. He also reported, this is from Mike Scully of the transfer station, that They have 4 new food waste composting containers. They're 40% post-consumer recycled plastic, 10 of which was ocean-bound plastic that was found, I guess, at beaches and things. So it's good that they're buying recycled. That's always a good policy. And he also brought up the ongoing issues with pay-as-you-throw bags. He says that when one issue is resolved, another comes up. They're having supply issues and shipping issues like many companies. The last email that Mike saw, he says they looked like all the store orders had been shipped. So pay-as-you-throw is, going along. I used to buy the mini bags, but they haven't been in stock around, and at least at the marketplace in a long time. I don't know if anyone else has been looking for those, but those have been out of stock for at least six months. So I just go to the medium size, which is okay. That's the report from Mike. He hopes to be at the next meeting. And the hazardous waste days, there's one left. It's October 1st. So Nancy just texted, she's having issues logging into Zoom. Maybe Christine, could you reply to her? And maybe if she logs out and then in again, that's always the first step.
Yeah, I'll respond.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, hazardous waste day is October 1st. And that's a Saturday. After this, we have Energy and Climate Action Committee Liaison. We don't have Carol Magano with us, so we'll go on to, and Carrie wasn't able to join us either from the Mass DEP Barnstable County Cooperative Extension. We'll go to Community Cutlery, Library of Things.
Excuse me, Lydia. I think she's waiting to be admitted.
Oh, okay, hold on. That's my fault then. Let me get the participants thing. Oh, and there's Carol. Sorry, I wasn't keeping my eye on the waiting room. There they are.
Okay, yeah, she's letting you in. Sorry about that. Bye-bye.
Wait till they're. Hi, Carol and Nancy. So sorry, I wasn't keeping my eye on the participants in the waiting room. So, but good to see you. And we've just covered basically the updates A through F, and it is of course being recorded. We'll ask, since Carol's here, although she's muted, maybe we could ask Carol for an update. That would be item number D, 1D. Carol, do you have, do you want to unmute?
Sorry.
That's okay, no problem.
So the committee meets in a couple of days here. And the only thing that's really happened since the last one is we had the first of our 3 meetings at the library, presentations about what people can do about climate change. And the first one was not terribly well attended. I don't know, there were maybe a dozen people there, but the people who were there had good questions and seemed quite interested, and I thought it was effective. So I think there'll probably be more at the one this week, tomorrow, which is on electric cars.
Oh, good. Was it something that the Chamber of Commerce sent out too? Because they often send out select board meetings, the agendas and other things. Maybe that would bring more people in. They have a pretty big mailing list, and
That's I'll try that, Lydia. Thank you.
Sure. And what time is the one tomorrow?
7 o'clock at the library.
Okay, thank you. And these are being recorded also, are they being?
You know, I'm not sure about that. There's a large video component, but we had Liz, well, not Liz. We had a woman from Cape Life Compact, whose name escapes me at the moment, who participated in the meeting along with Dick Elfman as presenters. So I'm not sure if it's recorded. I'll find that out and tell the committee.
Yeah, sometimes the in-person meetings, I haven't been to all that many, but I mean, they are happening, and it's probably a good thing too, but it's also the Zoom ones are so easy to attend.
True.
But I think it's great that you're doing that series.
Yeah, Dick did them, and I think he did a good job. So
Uh,
I would have definitely attended if they were remote.
pardon?
That up. I said I definitely would have attended if they were remote.
mhm.
Okay.
And I feel like I did get a Chamber of Commerce notification about these climate change meetings.
Oh, okay. I must have
Like
missed.
The one I saw, I think, was on Mermaid Memo, or maybe it was something else. I can't remember.
Mm,
Never mind.
yeah. Okay, community cutlery library of things. We were able to put, using a Google sheet, like a Google Excel sheet, but it's a Google sheet. You can put images into each cell for the cell that you want. So it kind of makes it easy for people that are shopping for community cutlery or for items to borrow. They can see kind of what they look like and the quantities and so on. And we can, maybe later we can do a quick screen share to show you what that looks like. But we do have Eastham's Lee Bartell here, so I want to go right to Lee and the column proposal of Did You Know flyer. Or did you know that column?
I
Sorry.
know that, and it has been so frustrating to get Ed Daniels, who's the publisher, the editor of the Indie, and Hannah, who's the office manager who helps figure things out, to get either of them to okay something. I sat down with Ed for an hour a month ago, and that's when he said, yeah, as long as he doesn't have to do it, he'd be happy to have something come in. And I've been calling and I suppose pestering him and Hannah, please tell us what we can do.
Mhm.
And so far, nothing.
All right. Well, they've had-
Have you sent a column to them?
I have.
You have.
I said, could we just start with this as a beginning?
Mhm.
And it was actually just two fabulous websites, earth911.com and recyclesmart.ma.org, or
Mhm.
I don't remember which is the org and which is the com, but just get started.
Mhm.
So yes, that little bit was all I asked for to get a beginning going, and
Mhm.
so far to no avail, but I won't give up.
Did you have a chance to consider the, well, first other towns? So we have Eastham and Wellfleet, and then Provincetown and Truro.
There is no one in Truro at the
There
moment.
is no Truro. Truro, it turns out, was kind of a one-person recycling committee, and she moved west,
Right.
and no one came in to replace her. Provincetown, I'm forgetting the name of the man who responded, who said, yes, we'd like to have something going.
Okay.
So there's a beginning there.
Right.
Perhaps we could, other towns, like we could do something for a post and send it to you to, to just so they see maybe what kind of things we're going to be
That's a
providing.
good idea. Examples.
Great idea.
Okay. So, right, we'll get those to you, and I think we did kind of an outline of what we thought would work during certain months.
Mhm.
With the holidays coming up, we thought it would be good to talk about food waste, I think. Nancy put that in the minutes from the last meeting.
Did you have textiles as the first thing?
I think didn't we want to do that in, yeah, like October, November, when the turtles start needing them? Is that right?
Okay.
I think
Yes,
so.
end of October.
Yeah, we were going to do paint at this time of
Oh.
year because the paint, people have leftover paint probably from painting in the summer, the driest summers ever. So, but Lee, I guess with this other, the one you've already sent, we'll just get you some other ones and you can perhaps try those and share them with with Provincetown. And with Truro, we might just see if the DPW wants to do something. Is it Jared Cabral, I think, of the Truro?
Mhm.
Um,
Just to let you know, this last weekend was Windmill Weekend in Eastham.
Right.
Saturday, the recycling committee had a table. It had one of the composters that are sold at the DPW on display, and people asked a lot of questions about that, which was good.
Mhm.
And we had Survey Monkey supposedly send out a composting questionnaire to the whole town of Eastham, though
Mhm.
no one I know ever got it through email or the US mail.
Oh,
But we got a copy of what the survey was, 10 questions. And another member of our committee and I worked it out. So we got it down to 5 questions, and they got printed on a half sheet of paper, front and back. And we went around with those on a clipboard
oh,
to the folks all over the place, and ended up getting about 75 who did the survey.
great.
And it's all being tallied, how the 5-question survey compares to the 10-question, but it's still getting talked about. And in 2 years, the whole DPW is getting renovated. A water processing, something is going in, and therefore everything's changing. And we're looking into getting a huge, fabulous composter for the town to use.
Yeah.
And it sends nothing up into the air. There's no pollution, there's no bad vibes from it. And it's a very exciting thing that we hope to get going and get word about it building, so that when it finally happens, it's going to be a big success.
Sounds fantastic. I'd really be interested in seeing the questions and the survey responses too. I hope they'll be published, and
I can send that to you, because I can send you the 5-question one I did, and I can find the 10-question one. I'll send them both to you.
that sounds really great. Congratulations. It sounds like a great big transformation.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be a regional composting site or just for Eastham. That's something.
Eastham.
Eastham only, yeah.
I don't know. I
Mhm.
mean, at this point, anyone can come to the Eastham transfer station without a sticker, but pay $10.
Mhm.
And I don't know when the composter comes,
Mhm.
if people, I don't know any of those answers.
Good. Well, thank you, Lee. And you're welcome, of course, to stay through our meeting if you'd like, or if you have to.
No, I'll keep listening.
Okay, great. So thanks again. That was a really good report. And I can keep you on the mailing list if you want to continue to join us. We're happy to do that.
Thanks.
Under waste reduction, we have carry in, carry out signs and feedback. I wonder if, Olivia, you've heard anything from the departments or people experience.
I haven't heard anything, but anecdotally, the place I go to, no one has left anything in the parking area since the signs went up. So I don't know, if that's a result, but
Great.
there were the mystery piles that developed. And when I put up the signs out by the gut, a couple who was walking their dogs asked me about, they said they brought it up. They're like, oh, people collect stuff and just leave it here. And I was like, well, we really don't want people to do that, so please discourage that if you see that. And they were like, oh, doesn't someone come get it? And I was like, no, just someone volunteer eventually. And so yeah, I don't know if it's helping, but at least where I walk, it
Mhm.
there's an improvement.
That's great.
It would be awesome to get piles like that at the other, particularly bay beaches, because things like at Duck Harbor and at various places on Great Island and the Gut definitely pile up until we do a cleanup like we are in October.
I think the select board is interested in seeing more signs out.
Mhm.
To do that, I guess you have to be careful about like, where they're placed and everything, but
Yeah,
signs worked out great, the ones that Olivia arranged for, because they went right next to the shellfish
yeah.
apartment signs along with that.
Yeah, we just use their polls, so that, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, I think it would, I wonder if it'd be worth reaching out to the beach department, you know, we could even take them down in the summer when they have the dumpster, but if in the winter when they don't have the dumpster, it seems like it'd be worth
Mhm.
having a sign up.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do that? Okay, that's good. And I had a question because initially we had a design that you created using the old carry and carry out logo, and I think you improved it. Do we want to pursue those signs, the commercially printed signs, or do you want to just stick with the DPW signs?
It's up to you guys if you want to spend money on them or just stick with the free ones.
Yeah. Maybe if we did a whole group, maybe we would get a discount. We
Yeah,
could,
why don't I wait and see what Route Thomas says, and if we're gonna do more, then maybe we want to improve them.
I think that's a good idea. And maybe the more we get them, you know, they could maybe give us a deal or something.
Yeah.
And we do have a pretty fair amount in our budget left as well.
We have a so far untouched budget for the new fiscal year.
Okay. And thank you, Olivia. Refill Cape Cod outreach, the discovery map, the decals. We use the decal at town meeting on our water tank to get across that it was free water at the town meeting table there. And Christine, or Chris, do you have any thoughts or things you want to talk about there?
Well, I'd just like to say I have no idea because we didn't pay for, like QR Tiger that we use to create the QR code. You have to pay to get the analytics on whether it was ever used or not. So we really have no idea if that Google map. I guess I could look at the Google map itself and see if there are any statistics on that, not the code. And then, nothing ever went anywhere because I never had the time or energy this summer to go around and ask businesses if they wanted to post it. But we have lots of decals. We can see what we can do next summer to try to get it out there.
Sure.
Even if people don't use the Google map, it's still a nice decal.
Yeah. And we can also, when we apply, if we were to say apply for funds for stations or something, we can show that there is this map and that where the current locations are, how many there are in, say, Orleans and Provincetown compared to Wellfleet. And Eastham, you have them too. Like the water stations going in, the water fountains.
I've been told we do. I've not seen them nor heard about where, but
Yeah.
I think we were late to the game getting them, but I think we do have them.
Good. Along those.
One other thing about refill is that the capital budget that was on at special town meeting article was indefinitely postponed because free cash was not available, and those were free cash items for the for the refill. There was $20,000 for refill stations in Wellfleet that Jay put into it. But since free cash hadn't been certified, that was indefinitely postponed.
Right.
So presumably that means nothing until next spring. Unless we can try to get some grant money to install these things.
We've paid for two of them, I believe, and it's just a question of the installation.
Yeah, and that's the one that's sitting in the Harbor Masters garage.
Right. It's tricky because then you get into winter and nothing can happen in the winter, but like now is a good time, and also early spring.
Yeah, well, I try every spring. It's been 3, we bought it for them in 2019. It's been 3 years.
Jay Norton is the DPW director. He has it on. He's the one that Christine was referring to. And another option is to consider what Orleans did, which is they used applied for community preservation funds to pay for theirs. I
Yeah.
think under was it under recreation or open space? It was under one of those two.
I can't remember, but I have the paper, the grant that Rick Francolini submitted.
Right. I saw Mary Rogers, the person who manages the community preservation department, I guess you'd call it. And the deadline is October 17th.
Huh.
So it's possible to put something together maybe for our next recycling meeting. Since
Okay.
we have the Orleans model,
Mhm.
we can maybe go that way. Maybe that would, I don't know. I think that Jay Norton, did a great job in his proposal, but I just am worried about, is it going to be another year?
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay. I think maybe I'll talk to Jay about, maybe he can talk to Will and find out, what the heck.
okay.
And, or see if there's another location where maybe we could, like, for instance, at the library, maybe Friends of the Library could help
Right.
install it, or, something to do with this one that's been sitting there.
Mhm. And I know there was again, the select board is interested in seeing one outside in the town hall area.
Yes.
Member of the select board. Reduced aquaculture plastics. I don't have much to report there, just that you might have seen that lobsters have been added to the seafood watch list on red to avoid. That's some Canadian lobster from a certain area up there.
To avoid
To avoid eating
because of
right whale entanglement.
for right whales.
They have a little, well, they have a guide on a website, but they also used to publish a little thing you could keep in your wallet that talked about which seafood products were safe. Well, not safe, but which ones were plentiful and which ones were not. Yeah, sustainable. Then we have reusable food containers pilot survey. Nothing to report there. Sorry about that. I did have a contact with who was delivering meals in Wellfleet through Meals on Wheels, and she said some of the places were incredibly remote, and it was it would be very taxing for some people, I think, to be able to deal with it, but maybe there is still a possibility of it if it could be made easy, just as simple as an exchange, rather than having that person, the recipient, have to wash the item themselves. That wouldn't work probably. So it would be as simple as an exchange. It's possible it could work. And I like the idea of at least 5-question survey. Maybe I'll kind of follow that format, see if I can produce something to bring to the committee. The next thing is calendar notes. We have boomerang bags is back. The library is hosting it. This is a boomerang bag that was made, I think, a few years ago, because we haven't had one since 2019. And there's some good news to report. Erica Gorin, who created the Cape Cod or Outer Cape program, gave us $565 that was for boomerang bag sales and also some contributions. So that was deposited in our merchandise account at Wellfleet Town Hall. So we have that money to work with when we want to produce new labels. This one says, well, it says Cape Cod, like we could have one that says Wellfleet instead. So maybe that can be on maybe I'll talk about that now, because it would be an expenditure. The labels are $1 each, and they're printed in Provincetown. They're she likes to use found cloth, so we're not going out and purchasing new cloth, and the material should be like 100% cotton without any texture. That works best for printing. She said that to get a new screen, it would be $40 for it to say, rather than just Cape Cod, it would say Wellfleet or Wellfleet Cape Cod. Choose to reuse, and again, $1 per label. So I wanted to see if you were interested in spending some of that Boomerang Bags money on that project, on printing more.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
Right, so-
Lydia, where are these bags sold?
Well, there were 2 ways to distribute them. They were sold at the end of one of the, I think it was when Erica was kind of stepping back from the program because she's a busy mom with a full-time job. And she suggested that we had a lot of bags. So she suggested that they be sold at the library. So at one point they had strung a big clothesline across the big front desk area, and they were just behind it, and they put a whole lot of bags there. I think they were being sold for mostly $15 each, I think. It might have been more, maybe some more elaborate ones were 30. And I think there were some contributions over time. I think recycling committee might have even given a contribution. We can look that up. The program started, I believe, in 2017. And it went for a few years. They were doing it at the library. Gabrielle Griffiths was managing it, Naomi Robbins, and now Racine Oxtoby is going to be the person in charge of on the library. And thankfully, Sharon Rule-Agger, who made some really beautiful bags over the years at Wellfleet, is going to be the coach, the leader of the Boomerang Bags, how to do them.
Okay.
And we also have lots and lots of cloth left over, and from way back, that's stored at the library. And Christine Sheaves has offered to make handles, which is a really important part of it. The kits come in, you get the handle separate, and then there's the body of the bag, which is also pre-cut for you. So you can take a kit home. The kit includes a pocket, a label, the handles, and the body of the bag.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch already made up. So
Yeah,
maybe,
and the sewing bees, I don't think we don't have machines there anymore, do we? Did those go to Brewster?
I think so. I'm not sure. There might be one. People are encouraged to bring their own machine, and I can look out for one at AIM, or sometimes they come into the swap shop, and maybe we could get one that could be in good condition for the library. I thought there might be one there, though. I'm not. I'll have to check. We'll have to check.
Yeah.
Ask Racine to check.
Lydia, do you have one of those little flyers for the upcoming Boomerang?
Yes, I
If you could send one of those to me. Does it have both October dates on it?
I think it does. It might just be the 9th, the 8th. Sorry, October
I think it's in
October 8th, and then the 9th is the Shuck and Run.
right.
Yep, I'll definitely get that to you.
Okay.
Could we have a motion for spending them some money on the Boomerang Bags labels? So it's $1 each. Maybe we should start with like just 100 or 150, something like that, rather than, I think Erica used to do 300, but that's kind of a lot.
I think 100 or 150 sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Looks like it's unanimous amongst the recycling committee. Yeah, unanimous. And thank you. All right, next is the Shuck and Run, the 5K, 8 a.m. setup, 9 a.m. race start time. They had considered the later date, but that's Oyster Fest weekend, so that I think would have been logistically too much. So they chose Sunday, October 9th, and the course is really simple. It's from Mayo Beach up to Crescent Neck Road. It doesn't go skirt around by the library at all. It's just a straight back and back.
It's the route out to Great Island, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh my gosh, can you excuse me a second? I have to get my charger.
And Lydia, I'm going to go. Thank you all for
Okay,
your meeting
Sure.
Thanks.
and be well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. Then or it's just gonna go dark. All right. Yeah, the course is from Mayo Beach to. Is it the Chiquessa, is it the Great Island parking lot? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Right,
That's what I read yesterday, I think.
okay. Seems pretty long, but anyway, I think, well, I heard a lot of people are signed up. And we have, I'm sorry that Olivia had wanted to do it, but it's not able to this time. But we have, I think, Christine and Nancy. And Chris, would you be available then, October? It's okay. And Carol, if you're interested, please, it's pretty fun to see the runners go by. And the water stations will have our usual gear, like our water tanks and I guess the cups will be provided by the recreation.
Yeah, so last time, Lydia, the the counselors and volunteers from rec department did really everything.
Mhm.
So the only value we were providing was the tap water refills, and the more cups we had, the more they would be used,
Mm.
because they didn't have the cans available to people pre-race. And nobody is carrying a water bottle. So I guess, I just do feel that our presence there is a value for the recycling committee, or
I think so. We could set up a table like our usual stuff, and anytime we can show off our refillable tanks, water tanks, and
Yeah.
the water in cans, I think it's good because people are
Mhm.
coming from all over, not
Right.
well, clearly not just Wellfleet.
Yeah, but
And
we're not providing any cans, right? It's just
No.
rec department's handling all that. Yeah.
they'll be purchasing everything. We could have our, table set up at the finish line like usual.
Mhm.
I don't know if we'll need the tent. I guess we'll see what the weather's like.
Okay.
October is not going to be too warm, but maybe it's going to be drizzly. So it's rain or shine. So I think it's good to have a presence there. And Becky requested some help.
Okay.
Becky
And
I
I just looked at the map you sent, and it goes just to the new overlook on Chiquesset Neck Road.
Oh, to the overlook. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Nancy.
So it's shorter, yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't be a 5K. It would be a
Right.
regular, like what they do in July.
Right.
So that's good. It's fast, a bit faster, not as much time. Is there also a kids, or is it just adults for this? Looks like it's just adults, age 10 and older.
yeah.
So there are some kids in the race. Okay. It's not a separate race, so they're all going to run together. Okay. So thank you for helping with that. There's October 10th is the coast sweep. Meet at Mayo Beach, 9 a.m. And we'll bring our usual stuff. There's we have the grabbers that some people like to use.
Mhm.
I think those are at the transfer station shed. That way.
I have one here, and then
one in
the
my
others are there. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want me to pick up those? Apart from that, what do we need to bring? I think we have the grain sacks are pretty handy for.
I have those here, so I'll bring those.
Okay.
And I think that was it. No, we're not doing any sorting, are we?
I think we should. I think it's a good
Okay.
idea.
So it's a
Yeah.
little confusing. So they have the dumpster, so that means just everybody's going to throw their stuff in.
Yeah,
But
people
the coast sweep, the idea is to sort it and register it all into their database.
they do that. They have the tally sheets on paper, or there's the app. that
Yeah.
people use.
Oh, okay.
So people do do the
they
count, you know.
tallies? Okay.
Yeah, all the volunteers do that. When it gets to Mayo Beach, yes, those things, you know, maybe they should use clear plastic bags instead of the old black trash bags, or maybe, you know, maybe that's something to suggest. So some recyclables could be fished out, or you just have a better sense of what's in there.
Yeah, well, hopefully people will do either as they go. I mean, it's different, like when we did it on by ourselves last year, the year before, we did it all together, the sorting
Yeah,
of everybody's, but if there's just a person going out here and there, I guess they'll be encouraged to tally as they go or
yeah.
afterwards.
Do we want to meet as usual at Duck Harbor to do our sorting?
I think that's a good idea. There's not a lot at Mayo Beach, and I've done other areas like out Lieutenant Island and various places.
Okay,
And I'm sure people will be going out to other locations. I was just at Duck Harbor, and there's plenty of stuff,
okay.
especially at that nodal point, you know, where it turns.
Mm.
Wow.
And you know, people pile things up on debris and at Great Island as well. There'll be a lot that's left.
Okay, that's good to know. So there were some volunteers that came from pretty far away. I think the New Bedford area last time,
Mhm.
our daughter. And I think also some neighbors of Nancy's were there. Is that right, Nancy?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
They were really nice. So maybe we can reach them, you know, with an email or something to say
Yeah.
this is coming back up.
And I think Jane was saying last time that our sorting would have been taken a much shorter time if we had a way to sort first and then count once when everything was sorted.
I have
Like
tons.
containers that we can just put things into.
I'll bring some. I have probably 7. How many? I could
Oh.
bring like 5 or something like that.
And are these so that things don't fall out of them?
Yeah, they're large. They're probably 3 feet by, you know, they're large recycling bins, larger than the Wellfleet recycles ones.
Oh, okay. Are these the sandwich ones? By the way, I have your one from Sandwich from last time we used it.
Yeah, well, you could bring that if you want.
Okay.
I'll bring, I have, I think, 7 or 8 of those. So,
Oh, okay. That would be fantastic.
okay.
That would make the task much easier because we wouldn't end up with this pile of debris we have to pick out.
Yeah, okay. We can do that. And Nancy was an amazing tallier last time.
I remember. Very precise.
I concur.
Okay.
If I put out word for volunteers for this, is there, should they contact somebody if they have any questions?
I think Denny is the main leader, Denny O'Connell of the Conservation Trust, Wellfleet Conservation Trust. And he might be the best person, I think, because he's supposed to, he has a, as I remember it, there's a sheet that you have to sign off on to say that you won't hold the state or the town liable. You know, there's a sign-up sheet and a liability waiver thing you have to sign. So he's probably a good person to direct volunteers to.
Could you send me his contact information?
Sure. And we have.
So the question is whether we then want to just publicize it as one of the joint sponsors of the Wellfleet Coast Sweep or invite people in particular to the locations that we're targeting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I'm wondering if Barbara Brennesall was planning to do Great Island but we can check with her.
Right. That's a good point because Denny and Barbara probably make assignments, assign people to places.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could figure that out and send the information to me, I can put word out.
That'd be great. Thank you.
It's the Massachusetts Coastal Management Department that sponsors this annual coast sweep, and they have some printed materials and posters and things that they'll send you, or they probably will send to Denny.
Okay.
And I don't know if they've had like a poster template, and I wish they had, because we did one, it was pretty good, but it'd be nice if they had a poster template that could be shared like Chris through Instagram and everything.
Hmm.
So I'll ask about that too.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Denny is providing that information. Like there's a Coast Sweep app that you can use to tally as you go.
Yeah,
And
so we'll share the app too.
Yeah.
Because we'll probably send out notes emails to the people that we have contacted.
Mhm.
And but yeah, the more the merrier for sure.
okay.
Yeah, even if they don't have a poster, I can put something together as long as I have the information.
Okay, that
Sounds
sounds good.
And should one of us talk to Denny or Barbara or somebody, do you think, Lydia? I can call
Yeah.
Denny.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks for doing that. Educational materials, farmers market, Oyster Fest. So educational materials, we have some. Farmers market, they're going, I think, into October, the first week of October, and then they're doing a harvest farmers market at Preservation Hall, as they always do around Thanksgiving, which is a really nice market. I can find out if we could have a presence there, and maybe there would be some boomerang bags that we could either sell or do something, have a table. Would you be interested in that? Not so much.
So.
Oyster Fest, I guess we're not going to really have a presence there because we didn't arrange for it. And I don't know if they're going to have the water monster. My sense is they may not be doing a whole lot of, I think they're going to be using some plastic there.
I decided not to even ask or get involved.
Mhm. This year, it's the first time they're doing it down at the Bakersfield. So I think that's a big change for them. And there's going to be fewer people. I think they want 7,000 each day rather than, I'm not sure how many it was before, but it was maybe double that.
Well, yeah, but there's no limit before. The 7,000 though is just, inside of Bakersfield, the whole other area, which I presume is where vendors and I'm not sure if the inside is going to be, I don't know, but in any case, a whole lot more people can come than just the 7,000 that have tickets and still hear the music and whatever. So when I was talking to a police officer that was at the polling station, he was saying they're expecting lots more than ticketed numbers.
Okay. So, and I guess there'll be things happening on Main Street as well.
Mhm.
There's an art crawl in the evening.
Mm.
I don't think they've set the time on that yet. But yeah, I understand there were two people that were executive directors and that they both have left. I think they're
Two
doing,
people?
yeah, there were
Really?
two.
Well, there's an executive director and then a fundraising person.
Yeah, I
development
think they
person.
both got jobs in Boston or something.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
not sure. So if you can help them out, I think they're,
Wow,
be
and they're
help.
still going ahead with it?
yeah, I think they're managing pretty well. They always come through. So, but I think if they do put out a call for volunteers, well, I think they could really use them. Plastic water bottle alternatives at community dinners. Olivia went to a dinner where they were handing out the plastic water bottles.
At the Masonic Lodge, they're selling the water basically.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So when you buy your lobster roll dinner, you get a choice of water or canned iced tea, and the water was, a crappy plastic bottle of water. And they were using plastic bags to give out the drinks too. So they were sort of in double violation.
Okay. Well, do you think we should send them a friendly note, just saying, hey, look, these are the things that are available. We hope you'll consider it.
Yeah, they could
Because
use nectar instead of plastic water. Like, it wouldn't be difficult.
Yeah.
And they need to stop using the bags because they don't even need them. And they had like a whole roll of,
Yeah.
That's kind of old fashioned. That's putting them stuff in plastic bags.
I was hoping someone maybe had a connection to the Masonic Law. It's a bunch of old guys, like maybe someone knew something.
They have a women's auxiliary. I don't know what they're called, but the Masons do. They have a special name. I don't remember it, but I know a couple people in the Masons. I could see.
It'd be nice if we had a little write-up for businesses that have, all the various bylaws
And then
regarding plastic reduction and maybe the
Okay.
compostable guide for some ideas for non-plastic takeout.
That sounds like a project.
It does. Just throwing it out there in case of
Yeah. Yeah.
the marketplace is selling 20-ounce bottles of unflavored smart water, and that seems to me to be like a violation of plastic water bottle ban.
They're calling it like
Our
ours is-
water has something added electrolytes or,
That's not flavoring. They had flavored
Yeah.
and unflavored, and they were selling a lot of it. Like I noticed it because like every single person
Ah.
had me online. Seems
Huh.
like pretty blatant and run around the ban.
Yeah, there's going to be that, I think, because I've seen that advertised on TV, that water too. And if they
it was
put-
at Cumbies too, when I was there, and I was looking at it, trying to figure out if it
Water,
was.
like it is not flavored. It does not.
Okay.
It really should not be an exception.
Okay,
I took a picture.
so we should, yeah, let's talk to, how do we deal with that?
Who would it be Hillary's department if the enforcement?
I think so. You have to look to see.
I think it's town administrator or their designee or something.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty broad.
Yeah,
So maybe we could talk to the town administrator.
okay, that'd be great.
Okay. Right. I think. What else? I think the write-up would be good. Maybe it could be something like, 8.5 by 11, but long ways, maybe. Yeah, or like this, whichever, but wouldn't be more than a page,
Right.
double-sided.
Mhm.
Um,
And
okay.
we could just have links to any other supporting documents or recommendations for alternatives.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'm sure what the Masonic does is they go to, I don't know, Sam's Club, BJ's,
Yeah.
and they get those humongous, cheapest
Mhm.
things of water. And
Right.
it's like,
Replacing it with seltzer would probably be the same price. Like because they're just doing iced tea or water are the only two choices. So
Mhm.
I imagine.
iced tea was in the cans.
Yeah, with like Lipton in the can. So like I feel like it wouldn't be a hard switch for them to switch to
Right.
seltzer.
No, it wouldn't. But you know what? It's probably like whoever goes there and they're not even thinking. So
Mhm.
maybe the
Yeah.
flyer alone would just,
Or be aware of.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice that they had the canned tea, that's a plus. Yeah. So, okay,
Well, I can put some info together for some kind of a guide if anybody might be interested in laying it out, but I'll see.
yeah,
Winter project.
right.
I mean, I'm assuming if any of you like know, if you said you might know a few of the guys, like I mean, I don't think it would be that hard to switch. I'm assuming they just don't really know. They
Mhm.
said they didn't want to make a big scene, so I was sort of like, it was like the second to last week of the season, so I was like,
Right.
okay, like they probably already have it.
Right.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna do a screen share now, real quick, because this is on the agenda and I do have the Google sheet up that shows the community cutlery. This is a working list. And you can see the little pictures. It's really easy to insert a picture now. Insert image and cell. So that's a real plus with using the sheets. And a cousin of my partner has a big family event coming up, and I emailed her this in PDF, and she made some selections for a party. Not a huge party, but like 30
Mhm.
people. So I think it's a good way to if people are wondering about what we have, we can send this to them. Although Christine, you're working with the library on the Library of Things, and that's going to be a different format. They're going to have it on their website, and
Right.
that's where, so this will probably not be needed, but
Right.
at a certain point, you know, in
But
the
the
meantime,
information and the images are all there. So are the images and the original highest res content, or when you added them?
I don't
Well,
know. I mean,
you
they're-
provide
yeah, I
them
just,
separately. Yeah,
I just took them from, I think it was in photos, and
okay.
yeah.
I did want to mention that I was sitting with Peg McClellan in a volunteer capacity. And we were talking about how to reduce the number of entries of like how many forks, like you don't want a catalog entry for every combination of things. She had suggested perhaps doing, a set of cutlery, spoon, fork, knife, and maybe even napkin, and then having just that, so you wouldn't have all of the separate. So this is just something, to think about how we want to package things so there aren't as many entries in the database.
Right.
It might make it difficult to find things.
Yes, that's a good point. And I think having the napkins included will encourage people to use the washable napkins.
Yeah. Of course, if someone just needs forks, then they'd have to like take the forks out, wash them, and then
Yeah,
put
that's
them back
tricky.
in.
Well,
But-
maybe you could have complete sets with the napkins, but then
Mhm.
have just like a 10 or 20 pack of forks or
separate, yeah.
spoons. I think those would be the only two things people would ask for individually.
Forks or spoons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the really big borrow was from Castle Hill in their gala, their 50th anniversary event, and they needed all that we had, all that we could give.
Mhm.
And so it's good to have, probably we'll do a count because I think it's around 250. But then there's also the ones that are rolled up in paper left over from a spaghetti dinner years ago.
Yeah.
So that's another, I'm not sure how many are there, but it's a bunch.
Yeah.
And I heard about 300 wine glasses being donated to maybe Ames Thrift Shop,
Oh,
a house in Truro that's changing
Oh.
hands. So I
Oh.
can keep my eye on that in case.
yeah, please do, because
a lot.
we've had several inquiries for large quantity of glasses for
Uh-huh.
receptions and things.
Okay, I'll see what comes in, if that's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a good suggestion, Chris. We'll just keep some
Mm.
bulk forks and spoons.
Yeah, because even if someone gets the packages, like they
Mhm.
might have that for dinner, but want forks for dessert too.
Right.
Separate things. If more things come in that need photographing, I could set up another photo shoot.
Thanks.
That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Website and social media posts, Chris?
Um,
Oh, that's not so much.
I have this huge list of things that I want to post just from between Mike's email and everything that we're talking about here.
Mhm.
But let's see. This past month, I've been focusing on alternative products, which has been fun. I've been collecting images of different things, like Schweppes tonic now sells their little glass bottles without any kind of plastic thing to hold them together. It's just a piece of cardboard, which is really nice. So I took pictures of that, kind of blocked out that it was Schweppes, and posted that. Then Friends Market is using compostable produce bags, like that you can compost in your home composter, which is pretty cool. So I posted those.
They really are compostable, because
They're made out of like a vegetable
Yeah, the gas. that's the
starch or
one that
something.
Black Earth Compost uses those as their liners. When you get their service, you also get the bags, and that's what they're made out of.
Yeah, and
the ones I've seen that somebody bought, to bring to, that I guess they used to bring to the residential, they're not supposed to put anything in there, they say, to the transfer
That's
station.
Wellfleet, though. That's just
Right.
Wellfleet, Christine.
That's just well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
and I did mention that in the post to check with your transfer station if they
Okay.
accept that. But no, they feel incredibly different than other
Yeah.
bags. Like they almost, like I'm surprised that they hold together with
Huh.
vegetables in them. Like they have that
Yeah.
feeling.
Huh.
And then bamboo tableware and pressed paper tops for beverage
Right.
cups,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
I've been seeing more of in other
That's-
countries actually, but I just thought they were all good ideas, and they seem, people seem to have been responding well to that.
Mhm.
And we're up to 560 followers, which is
Oh,
pretty
wow.
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah.
And also for the article that we were just going to do paints. Does anybody have something for that article? I mean, just something that we can send to Lee.
Yeah, yep. We would, I mean, it can be, I think, very brief.
I did a post on it. If you want to just take the text from the post, you could do that.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's something a little more substantive, other than just some links that they might.
There's on the town website, they have a section on the paint program.
But do we also want to put something about the expanded bottle ban for as soon as possible?
There'll probably, yeah, there'll be an article about town meetings, so we'll be in there for sure, but maybe, yeah, to request, want to do an interview? I don't know.
Yeah, you might want to just look at the post that I did on Instagram about the paint, because it actually is it's a substantial Instagram post, which
Okay.
not huge, but it has a lot of information about the paints there.
Mhm.
I'm kind of wondering how many
Anyway.
words the columns are going to be. Oh, I like that paper top to that cup there.
Yeah, that was in Portugal when we were there earlier this year, and she gave me my cup in the airport, and I was like, wait a minute, I need to take a picture of it. She thought I was crazy.
Right.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
I see the bags you're talking about. Huh.
See if I can share. Oh no, I don't have it up. Do we want to, oops.
Yeah, I thought the columns in the paper were supposed to be fairly short, just a few paragraphs, and I think this might be the right length.
Ticket, okay,
Yeah.
good.
That looks like a great one.
Yeah.
So
That'll be
we
through,
just take the text of
through-
that out and send it to her, or
Mhm.
to me?
It's probably easier for me to copy it since
Okay.
I can get into the account. I could copy it and send the text to you.
Sounds good.
does it have something about like an ending date? Because when the weather
Mhm.
gets cold, they don't want any more paint.
It's April to October.
Okay.
So-
I didn't look at the paint one. I was looking at the compostable bags one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the paint is April to October.
Oh,
Okay. So there's not a lot of time
Right.
for that one.
Right.
But still,
Well, some people may want to get rid of it just before the program shuts down. So,
yeah.
yeah, good idea.
yeah.
Maybe we should really make an effort to promote that too through the town. I could send an email about it, or Mike could, or whatever. We also have our Chamber of Commerce, our free email blast, but what do you use that for? Maybe to be continued on that for next month, what to put in that free
Mhm.
blast. Maybe
Yeah,
around
probably
like-
it wouldn't be a bad idea to put like a reminder for businesses and maybe some suggestions for alternative products
Okay,
before they get to September ordering time for takeout ware and such.
okay. We should go to the minutes now, and thank you, Nancy, for,
Oh, I had one question though for you. I went to wellfleetrecycles.org
okay,
look up something, because I know we often put that out. And like the free Wellfleet is like one of the prominent things there. And I thought for someone who is looking for information on Wellfleet, and that being like one of the first menu items, it's a weird thing to come on.
yeah,
Under composting, it says paper napkins are acceptable. But of course, the sign at the transfer station says they're not. So we need
I
to
thought
change.
paper napkins were acceptable, but not paper towels.
Well, I didn't think it was. I don't know. But it's on their sign there. The sign posted says no. I don't know.
Well, that's the final word, the transfer station. I thought it was paper towels, but
Yeah, because paper napkins, you'd just be using, they wouldn't be used to pick up stuff off the floor or whatever. Or,
well, we can just take a look at the website. It would say on there.
yeah, yep, I'll check.
And I didn't see compostable dishes on the prohibited list. And I thought Mike had said those were prohibited, and that's kind of an important one.
Okay. I'll go to the town website and see what they have on there, because I think I just copied it exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be nice to organize the website a little, but I'm not sure of a good way to do it, where we have some, we could have like a news thing where for the latest thing, like whether it's what refill or,
Yeah,
town meeting or whatever, but then keep sort of a, like you were saying, the prominent programs that we have, so people could see what we do.
I'm sharing the screen now, and this is what's on the town site. So paper napkins are acceptable.
Okay, and it's yes for paper napkins. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I think I saw that it was on my phone, and I was reading that as a no.
So how about on this, it just says no.
No bags, dog waste, cat waste, diseased plants, trash, or plastic.
Okay,
It doesn't say anything about the
No, it doesn't.
paper.
I know, but that is definitely a no-no.
Mhm. I haven't seen those things in there. I do see bags from time to time, even, people thinking
And I
that.
forgot that you couldn't even put paper bags in there. I went over to it with a paper bag and Lenny came running after me. No bags. Ooh.
Let's look at the paint
Okay.
drop off too and just see what they've got. So even no spray cans. Oh, this is good. They have this little fun paint fact too. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, I think I got the rest of the information on the paints right from Mike that I posted.
Great.
Yeah.
So do we want to go to the minutes now? I'll work on the menu on the website. I'll work on that.
Great.
And Olivia, you're still working on the website a little bit too. You're muted. Oh, can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Olivia.
Sorry, I was just looking at the Wix. Yeah, I can definitely like hide the free Wellfleet, and I'll look at it this afternoon.
Thank you.
Great.
That'd be great.
All right, minutes. Did everyone have a chance to read them? And if so, please make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the August minutes.
I second.
All in favor? Look, it's unanimous. Okay. It is unanimous. And then an accounting report, well, don't have.
The only thing I wanted to, I don't have anything yet for the fiscal year, and I don't think we've submitted any of our expenses yet. So the expenses we have so far this year are, we purchased some compostable paper cups, cold cups that we had at the town meeting, and those were $93 for 250. Not very many were used, 20, less than 10, I think. We also have our Wix subscription, yearly subscription coming up, and they have increased their fees from $165 to like $204. So I did check some other GoDaddy and some other ones, WordPress, and they were all more than that. And I looked at some reviews and they basically said Wix is the most affordable.
Yeah, it is.
You agree with that? Okay. And then there was $109 purchase for the tent because it got a tear in it. And then they ended up selling us, they don't just replace the fabric, they sent a whole new tent, but they only charged $109. So we'll put in a reimbursement request for that. We have Chamber of Commerce coming up also
Membership.
for membership for $125. And then the labels that we just talked about, which would be, $140 to max $150, maybe $200, including the $40 fee.
Good. Is there a
So-
motion to approve those expenses? Olivia, thank you. Is there a second? Chris, thank you. And all in favor? It's unanimous.
Thank you.
And all right. So what we have next is, thank you, Christine, for that rundown of the expenses. Vacancies, we have 1 regular and 2 alternates. And future concerns, does anyone have a particular agenda item for next time? Maybe the community preservation option that Christine will talk with Jay.
Yeah, I'll try to get some information for that.
And I think that's it.
And so you were going to follow up on the smart order thing, Lydia?
Was that on smart water?
Were you going to, or was that about the,
I was gonna maybe talk to the Masons about, once we have
oh,
a
you're down to
write-up,
the Masons?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
the smart water. Oh, I know, we were gonna talk to the
I thought you said you
town
talked to
administrator.
town administrator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I will.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, great.
motion to adjourn. I think we all agree we're ready.
Yeah.
It's 12:12, and thanks
Yep.
everybody. Have a good rest of the day.
Nice to
Thank you.
see everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.